Okay, everyone, we're back here on Chapter 2, Continuation, Dwarf Fortress Review, walkthrough, and let's see, where were we? Setting up the workshops and so forth, and some mining areas for my dwarves. So let's go ahead and resume the dig, and we got some guys bringing in stone to our new stone stockpile. And let's see. I'm not sure if I have anyone set up to do masonry. So let's get Dwarf Therapist up here and see who we have on masonry. Okay. I do have someone designated for masonry, so he should get over there at some point and start doing stuff. Okay, so we got our first dwarf. He's going to sleep now. Okay, looks like two guys are sleeping in the stone stockpile. Not very fun, so we should try to get some beds going soon. Beds are nice. So let's see. Oh, and we have our plump helmets are nearly. Actually, yes, they're ready to be harvested. So that's nice. Got some food going. I'm going to designate some more trees for digging as we're building up our wood production. Trees are a little sparse here at the embark site, but not too bad. And I haven't forgotten about Mr. Volcano over here with the magma that I just clicked on here. So we won't forget about the magma. So, let's see. Okay, so we got the guys digging out here. So the stockpile that's being dug out right here, I'd like to set that up for finished goods, and hopefully we'll be finished that relatively soon. Okay, great. So let's hit P for stockpile, and then G for finished goods, and we're just going to put finished goods over here. I'm also going to break down the wall here, so we get a little bit easier access into the stockpiles. Not super clear, but the thing is, you want your dwarves to have to walk as least as possible so they can get more tasks done quickly. Okay, we got some micro clean down below. Let's see what this is. What type of stone is this? Obsidian. Okay, obsidian is nice. Obsidian is magma safe. And you can make rock weapons out of it, which is nice. You can make rock swords. It looks like my carpenter finished all of his carpentry duties, so let's make some more, let's make a few more barrels, and how about, cabinets? It's always good to have some bins let around so you can organize your items a little better. So, and I have the jewelry shop set up, but I'm not going to cut any items yet. I'm not going to do anything with that quite yet. As you can see, the guys that are carrying stone over here, they move a little bit slower when they're carrying the stone because stone is very heavy. Okay, so I'm trying to dig out an area here for my kitchen. So let's do that down here, and we also want to define a still. So still will be used for brewing. And the butcher shop I'm going to have connected off of the kitchen. And it's good to have the butcher to be kind of separate from the rest of the group, because when they're starting to collect corpses down there, occasionally you can deal with miasma, which is this poison that can spread and cause disgust amongst your crew. So that's bad. So in that case, I'm actually going to queue up a few doors. Okay, so we have our masonry. He's starting to build stuff, which is great. So I'm going to build a couple rock doors. And just checking out the noble screen here. I still haven't set up an office for Sigun, my expedition leader, because as manager and bookkeeper, he needs an office. one thing you can do you can hit J to go to jobs and then M for manage, and then you can create work orders that the manager will give out to individual people. So I can say, let's make a new rock table, so I can start typing in rock, and then table, and I say, okay, let's make 2 more tables, and those will be queued up for construction when the job manager gets around to it. We'll assign it to an appropriate workshop, and we'll be good to go. So, okay, so we got our digger, he's digging stuff out. Let's see, he's going to go store the stone. Okay, so let's build, so we're going to build workshop, and then we're going to hit L for still. And I'm going to set my still up here, and microclean is fine, the type, and then I'm going to set up a stockpile of food behind the still, but it's going to have a certain kind of food. It's going to only have food, let's see, so let me do block all. It needs to have leaves are good for brewing, and then I want to have, not seeds, but, yeah, basically plants. So I was going to store all the plants here, like plump helmets, the plump helmets that I just bought. So we're going to commit those. The idea is that you want your brewable items to be near the still, so that the brewer doesn't have to go far. So we just saw some guy drop off a barrel, an empty barrel. Barrels are also important because the brewed item goes into the thing. Okay, so we got some guy. Okay, so we just built the still. Very nice. So let's go ahead and queue up some drinks to be brewed. So the dwarves, remember, they prefer alcohol over water. So basically drinking water is like a last resort. You may have, perhaps you noticed there right before I refreshed my Dwarf Therapist display, none of my dwarves had farming skill, but somehow they've all gained a little bit of experience doing farming, presumably gathering the plants. Although, plant gathering is actually gathering plants from outside bushes, but I'm guessing farming consists of picking up the grown crops. So everyone gained a little bit of farming experience, which is good. But I'm here because I want to look at brewing. Let's see, brewing. Okay, so I have one person who's skilled with brewing, which is good. He's a competent brewer, so that'll allow him to make drinks quicker. So he's probably going to come by here and at some point, hopefully, set up the brewing. And then once this miner has finished setting up a space down here, I'm going to set up my kitchen. And I'm also, below this level, I'd like to start setting up some bedrooms. So I'm going to do my north-south staircase here, set that up, and let's set up a little offshoot bedroom up here. So a couple of different ways you can do bedrooms. You can set up, you can set up individual bedrooms for people, or you can set up like a big dormitory, life in the dorms sort of thing, right? So you can set that up and just kind of make it public space for everyone. But the dwarves will get pissed off after a while. Sleeping on the floor. Like for example, let's take a look at this guy. I'll hit Z for status and go to. Okay, this is my expedition leader. So if I look at his thoughts and preferences, he slept uneasily due to noise lately. He slept in the dirt. He was caught in the rain. He complained about the lack of chairs. So, alright, he's satisfied at work, but ultimately he's kind of pissed off about having to sit around in the dirt. So that'll damage his disposition over time. So we definitely want to get some bedrooms and stuff set up relatively soon. Zoom in here so the graphics are a little easier to see. Alright, so we got a few idlers here. Our woodworker is idle again. He's probably done all of his woodworking tasks. As you can see, okay, let's get back here on our main stockpile. We have some beds set up here. We got some tables. So we got some of made of different materials and different quality levels, which is good. We got our mechanisms down here, which have been built. We also have an anvil, which I came with, and that will be used to create metalsmith forges and stuff, which we'll probably get into in a later time. So, what did I have a brain lapse? Oh yes, my carpenter / wood chopper is idle at the moment, so I wanted to designate chopping down some more trees. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh yes, and let's not forget about our friends, the turkeys. So I wanted to set up. I'd like to set up some nesting areas. So I'm going to kind of do that on my main level up here. I'm going to designate a little bit of an area to put my feathered friends so they can nest. So I'll create a new pen area back there, and I'm going to need to create some nest boxes. So I'm going to go to my management screen, type in nest box, and there's all the different materials you can use to make a nest box out of. We're just going to do rock ones. So let's go ahead and make 5 nest boxes. So when the turkey egg-laying birds are in an area where they can lay their eggs in the nest box, they'll go ahead and do that. Now, if you have the eggs in an area where they can't get to, your dwarfs can't get to, then they'll leave the eggs alone, and then the males will come in and fertilize the eggs eventually, and then they'll grow into baby turkeys. But if they do get access to them, then they'll pick up the eggs, they'll harvest them, and then they will use the eggs for their, food, right? So, okay, finally we got, I was going to say, we had this guy coming by to brew, but I don't think that's actually happening. Okay. So I went to my unit screen, I saw that Udid is coming down to make some drinks, which is good. So I could change his labors around so that he only brews, so that would enforce that he definitely comes by and does it. But so now that he just finished the task, and I see that now inside the still, so eventually he'll get moved out into a stockpile. But for now, the wine barrel is just sitting there, and for one, I can tell that the barrel itself has a fine quality to it, so that must have been a barrel that my woodcutter created. And I can hit view, and I can see this is a finely crafted dwarven barrel that is ashen. And then the wine would have been created because plump helmets, when they're brewed, create dwarven wine. So, again, it's very important to have the liquor there. I saw my farmer, he's bringing in plants. He just brought in a plump helmet to brew. I'm actually going to set up this stockpile to take from my main stockpile, so it'll take all the available plants and it'll bring them over there. I'm also going to go into my Z menu and go to kitchen. I want to set up so that my plump helmets don't get cooked. So when you cook plump helmets, the whole plump helmet is gone. When you brew a plump helmet, then you get the seeds back, which will allow you to plant the plump helmet seeds in your farm, and you'll be good to go. Also, I don't want to cook my wine or my rum. It can be it can be a food ingredient in your kitchen, but I like to leave the liquor purely for drinking purposes. So we'll be good to go there. So hopefully my guys will start bringing down the crops and storing it there. So yeah, it looks like someone just brought a barrel down, and it's a plant barrel full of plump helmets, so that's good. So now the plump helmets are right next to the still, so that my brewer doesn't have to travel far to brew. Of course, now he's sleeping in the still. It's great, sleeping on the job. Again, it's very important that I want to set up my bedrooms. So it looks like my dormitory is kind of partially built here. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in beds down here. So I did, let me review that. I had B for building, B for bed, and then I placed it here. So it's kind of strange putting a bed under the building menu, because you're not actually building it, you're just placing the furniture. So we'll kind of learning from there. I also found some gems here. Aluminum. Aluminum is awesome. aluminum is very valuable. It's actually more valuable than gold. You can see here the base value is 120, so I'm probably going to save that aluminum for making some metal aluminum objects, maybe for selling or just kind of sprucing up the old fort. So as I'm getting a little bit more set up in my fort, we got the beds coming. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place my kitchen. So I went to B, W for workshops, and then K for kitchen. Nope, that's a clothes shop. Kitchen is Z, which makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to go ahead and place the kitchen here, and then go to make it out of obsidian, that's fine. And then someone that has the cooking skill will come by and construct the kitchen. Generally, it's a person that has the skill associated with that building will come by and do it. So I just have, so Udib, the guy who's good at brewing, is also my main cook. Because he's the only guy that has skill at brewing and cooking and farming, I'm going to turn off his hauling labors. So he won't bother himself with hauling. Leave that to the other guys. Let this guy focus on his farming, his brewing, and his cooking. Because those are very important to me right now at this stage. So, resume the game. In a few minutes here, I'd like to set up a channel to kind of get into the magma, because I'd like to set that up somewhat soon. Oh, and actually, before I do that, I'm going to dig out an area here for a dining hall. So, dwarves can kind of eat kind of randomly, like on the ground or, wherever they find food, they'll just kind of eat it. But they like to be in a dining hall, be amongst their fellow dwarf, and sort of, do their own thing, right? So, you have a nice room with some tables and chairs and storing the food in there, which will allow them to have the food there and do what they need to do. Okay, looks like Udib is going to install the kitchen, which he just finished. Fantastic. And let's go ahead and queue up some, I don't have many food types, so let's just do some easy meals. The difference between easy, fine, and lavish is the number of ingredients that go into the food. So right now, because I don't have a whole lot of food, I don't want to make a bunch of crazy lavish meals at the moment. I would like to dig out a little bit more space here so I can set up a food stockpile, so that my cook doesn't have to go far. So I'm going to dig the space up at the moment. Let's go ahead and make some more drinks as well. Actually, I'm going to set the task on repeat, R. So basically that'll keep going forever until the end of time, until they fail to be able to do the job. Like if they don't have enough buckets, or pots. Let's see. Job. Looks like my manager is kind of... Oh, he's not going to be able to do his management tasks very well because he doesn't have an office yet. So let's go ahead and remove that job task, and I'm going to manually add nest boxes here. I'm sorry. The reason I can't do a rock nest box is because I don't have the necessary workshop to be able to do it. It's not done in the masonry, despite the fact that it's stone. It's done at a craft shop. So they make toys and mugs and things of that sort. So I'm going to go ahead and place a craft shop over here, make it out of obsidian, and then I'll have to see if someone has the stone crafting labor, which it looks like I do. Fantastic. So go ahead and resume that. Okay, so the craft... Ooh, some migrants have arrived. And, what is this mountain? Galena. Okay, so we get some migrants. As time goes on, migrants will come into your building, your fortress. As you see, we have a bunch of guys coming in here. Looks like they bring some animals with them, and there's some children as well. So, okay, looks like we have a few guys. So let's go to Dwarf Therapist and see how many guys we got. now. So looks like there's 12 guys. You use Dwarf Therapist to sort by migration wave. Looks like we have 5 guys, and so we got some. Oh, you know what? I never set up fishing. Fishing is a good source of food, right? Picking up turtles and fish and stuff in rivers, which is nice. Looks like we got some guys with another guy with cooking skill, spinning thread, which I don't do yet, and plant gathering. And we got a butcher, which is nice. Unfortunately, no one came in with the hunting skill. Hunting is really good. It does look like the guys from this expedition have military skills, which is good. So I'll probably set one of them up as a military dude in the near future. If we have more guys, we have more mouths to feed. We're gonna need more beds. We're gonna need a whole bunch of stuff. It looks like I found some copper, which is nice. Copper is always nice. So hopefully, just cut my video there for a second. Oh, the problem is I hit F2 to stop my video, but F2 is a zoom option. Okay, so it looks like this guy is creating a nest box, which is excellent. And okay, I got my kitchen down here. I'm going to set up a food stockpile. P, F for food, and set up some food there. Setting, and I'm going to change it to basically all the food that they're going to be unprepared and not plants, because plants I'm using for my drinking. I hit U for unprepared food. Basically, I want my raw food ingredients to go here. And I'm going to take from over here, my main shop, and I'm going to hit B and then T for table. I'm going to start putting some tables and chairs in where my dining room's going to be. Okay, see if I can put the nest box here. Okay. Nest box is not complete yet, but hopefully it will be. Okay, I'm going to assign my woodworker to create. I'm going to queue up some more beds. Do 5 beds because we're going to need some guys. Also down here in my bedroom area, I'm going to hit Q on the bed and then hit R for make bedroom, and that gives you a resizing tool that designates that area as a bedroom. You hit enter, and I'm going to set it as a dormitory. Hit D for dormitory. That means it's basically any civilian can come by and sleep here, which is good. So we got a table, and as you can see, my stone guy, my mason, he came by and sat down at this table chair to eat. And he's been kind of pissed off about not having tables and chairs, so hopefully this will work. So I hit Q on the table, and hit R for make dining room, and then resize this to contain this area here, so that this will now be a dining room, and I'm going to also set it to be a meeting hall with each, so people will gather here for parties and stuff like that, which is nice. And there we go. Children will hang out here because they have nothing better to do. Okay, and I'm going to build my butchery shop, W and U for butcher. I'm going to set it up over here, and I mentioned before that I wanted to install a door so that my butcher, in case miasma starts, in case the corpses start rotting, the door will allow the miasma to stay in the butcher shop, which is good. Trying to figure out what happened to my okay, so I can place the nest box now. I'm not sure. Oh, the nest box is over the X is over here. It's also the same icon for floodgates and bins. So it's a little, while the icon set is very helpful, it uses the same thing for a couple of cases. So I'm going to start putting nest boxes over here. Okay, great. So the nest boxes are designated here, and I'm going to create a new zone with the I key. I'm going to set it up where I set the nest boxes up. I'm going to set it up as a pen, N, and then capital N to set the pen and pasture information. And I'm going to move all of my birds over here, right, the males and the females. That way they'll have somewhere that they can drop their eggs, right? And then the eggs are great. Again, you can either use them for, setting up, new generation of birds, mating, or just collect the eggs for food. So I'd like to just use them for food for now. So, okay, it looks like my brewer is having problems brewing because he doesn't have any barrels or anything. So let's create some rock pots. So you can store liquor in wooden barrels or rock pots. So let's go ahead and just make 10 rock pots. Well, we have a lot of idlers here. Fishery. My fishery guys are not doing anything, nor are my farmers. So let's set up an outdoor farm. I'm just going to build one out on the land, on the outside. So outdoor farms can grow different crops. So it's good to know. Yeah, my guys don't look. Wow. I'm going to designate some plants for gathering. Hopefully that'll get some more guys busy. Create some meals here. This might be a good time to stop because my guys need tasks to do, and I'm probably going to need to set up a military so they can start training. As I mentioned, my new dwarves that came in, they, have some skills in military, so we can queue up some military tasks. I'll make a few training weapons, training axe, sword, spear. Alright, so we still got some idlers. My miner. Okay, so my miner is getting. He's kind of busy. He's not busy either. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start figuring out where I want to, how I want to dig into the volcano here and harness the magma, but I'll save that for another day. But we want to designate some more rooms. I want to designate a set of rooms out here for private rooms, so that my nobles that need to have their own bedroom will have one. So these are kind of, private rooms with their own beds and so forth. I'm going to move some other beds down here. Have some more beds get created. So more guys have a place to sleep. Okay, so now we have 0 idlers. 0 idlers is nice because they have to get, efficient dudes. Got some new stone coming in, new gems and so forth. Oh, another thing I need to do is build a trade depot, which has the name D for depot. Found allows you to trade with other folks. I'm just going to leave it out in the open, which is maybe not the best thing, but at the moment, that's what I want to do. Eventually, I'll probably have it surrounded by I don't know. I'll have it like walled off or something. and with a drawbridge, but for now, I'll just put it here. Just go put it right here by the lake. Oh, you know, I just used stone. I just realized I'm going to use some rock block. So a single stone becomes 4 blocks, but to construct a building, it takes either 1 stone or 1 block. So you're kind of quadrupling your stone resource away. I was kind of hoping that these nest boxes would get picked up by these birds, but they don't seem interested yet for some reason. Yeah, these are sea goblins. Okay, just making sure I have female birds, because the male ones don't lay eggs, believe it or not. Okay, so we just got our brock pot built, so we'll be able to brew some more drinks and prepare some more meals. Oh, and everyone's gathering over by the tables. Right, so let's put some more tables and chairs here in the dining room. And, okay, I need some chairs and thrones, so let's queue up some chairs. 5 chairs and 5 tables. Expand our dining room. Okay, so we got some guys brewing and making food. Good. And let's set up our outdoor farm. We'll start growing. Strawberries are good. Longland grass in the autumn. For the winter, we'll do longland grass, and then in the spring we'll do strawberries. We need to get it military going. Okay, so now I have my private bedroom down here. Actually, no, he needs an office, not a bedroom. Shit, okay, I can't do that yet. Okay, let's go ahead and dig out some more areas down here. So down here, I'll probably start building my my training rooms, for my military. Alright, well, this is probably a good stopping point. So, made some good progress. We got some stockpiles going. We got our kitchen and dining room and